All right, now we're going to look at eclipses and tides. There are two types of eclipses. The first type is a solar eclipse, and this happens when the moon is in the new moon phase and where it comes in between the sun and the moon. The moon is 6 times smaller than the Earth. If you didn't know it, it is smaller than the Earth. And you can see this in your reference table, page 15. So it's not capable of blocking out the whole Earth when the moon cuts in front of the sun. And due to this, a total solar eclipse, which just happened, is usually only visible in certain very specific spots. I believe there's one that's going to be in Venezuela, and it keeps coming. I think the next one that's going to hit New York is going to be in, what is it, 2075 or something like that. It's going to be quite a while. All right. And then you have the opposite of a solar eclipse, solar as in sun. You have a lunar eclipse, like Luna and lunar. It is the moon. This happens at night, and usually it happens, or it only happens during the full moon phase, where the moon, it gets caught in between it's caught in Earth's shadow. That means Earth is totally blocking out the sun. Remember, the moon is 6 times smaller than the Earth. It can't block out the sun during the solar. However, the Earth is 6 times as large as the moon, so during a lunar eclipse, it will block out the sun's rays on the moon. And as you can see, you have different variations of what a lunar eclipse looks like, where you have the penumbral, the umbral, the penumbral, and the uneclipsed. Right here is the umbral. So why don't we get a solar or lunar eclipse every 27 days? Why don't we get one every month? Well, this is due to the fact that the moon does not orbit the Earth at the same angle that the Earth orbits the sun. If you can see here, we have a path that we go on, and the moon's is off tilted by a 5-degree angle. So it doesn't totally align with us. It's at a 5-degree angle. So it's not always going to hit at the same spot every single month. Now that we've looked at eclipses, we're going to start looking at tides. And again, there are two tides. There are 2 eclipses, 2 tides. You've got a solar and lunar eclipse. Now we have the different types of tides, and they have their own names. Why do we have them? Well, we have them because of the pull of the gravity's pull from the sun and the moon on the Earth, which actually causes the ocean levels to go up and down every day. There are actually 4 tides a day. There are 2 high tides and there are 2 low tides. So the first type that we're going to look at is when the sun and the moon are in direct alignment with each other. So this would be when you have the full moon or the new moon phase. And this is called a spring tide, which gives you a greater range with higher high tides and lower low tides. So, and you can see in this little graph right here that we have really, really high tides right here. It'll come up right here. And then when we go to the next one, we have the lower tide, or the little bit higher tides. These are the normal tidal bulges from the sun. And this is when the moon is added to the sun. All right, so the other type of tide that we have is when the moon is at right angles. So that's when you get the first quarter or third quarter. And it is called a neap tide. It's kind of neat. It is a 90-degree angle and 90 degree. For you to have a spring tide, the moon must be in full or new moon position, like I just said. And for the neap tide, first or last third quarter. The moon, the sun is bigger. The moon is bigger, which causes... Okay, so the sun is bigger. It's so much bigger. Please don't have the moon. I'm sorry about that. The sun is so much bigger than the moon. However, Because the moon is way closer, it has more of an effect. So if you could just fix that on yours, I don't like how that is worded. I think there's a typo in it. So that is the gist of the eclipses and tides. Really short, really sweet. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. And I hope you guys have a great day.